Hi, I'm Cathy.
Hi, I'm Bobbi.
We're here today at St Ives Library to promote our service Dementia Together for Dementia Action Week.
Tell us about Dementia Together.
So Dementia Together was formed from the NHS, who realised that people in Cornwall weren't being supported well enough, so families and carers and people with dementia. And it comprises of 4 organisations: Alzheimer Society, Cornwall Partnership, NHS Foundation Trust, Disability Cornwall and Memory Matters. Previously, the pathway was somebody would go to their GP, concerned about their memory. GP would refer them to the memory assessment clinics, and then they would be allocated a PCDP, which is a primary care dementia practitioner, and that's where it ended. And obviously the PCDPs have massive caseloads and aren't able to see their clients frequently or very often. So they've created this Dementia Advisor role, which is what Bobbi and I are doing. And the idea is to try and give clients, patients more timely service, so that they're seeing people quicker after their diagnosis. And then we keep in regular contact, so they know that there's somebody in the background, that if they need to call us, if there are questions, they're in trouble, things change, and then obviously if we haven't heard from them, we'll be calling them, checking in, making sure that everything's ticking along, and if it's not, then we can step in and try and help. And if it's beyond our remit, then we refer them back to the PCDPs, who can cover things like medication.
What sort of things can a dementia advisor do then?
So the Dementia Advisers are community based. What we have is a knowledge base of all the services that are available to people with dementia in the community. We can support carers and the clients to access those services. A lot of the time, isolation is an issue for people living with dementia. There's plenty of services out there that try and tackle things like isolation, giving people meaning and purpose with activities. There's services like the Sensory Trust, who provide days out. That's with the carer as well, so it's not a case of having to find someone to support that person. It's you're doing it together. It makes the experience more pleasurable in terms of the carer is able to enjoy time with the client, with their person, as opposed to it being a care role all the time. A lot of the services are provided to support the carer as well, so there's training opportunities, so anybody that's new and doesn't understand the symptoms and the processes in dementia, there's services out there like ProMass that can support with training. It's free. The carers service provide support, and there's funding available for people that if they require it. So it's really just getting to know your community and knowing what services are available to make a difference.
Can you explain to me then a day in the life of a dementia support advisor?
So for me, I look at what visits I'm going to be doing during the day. So that can be visits with clients to do assessments. It can be visits to some of the activities that are provided, the day centres, the memory cafés, which are brilliant. So if I'm doing visits, my first port of call in the day is to get planned for that. So I look at all the information I need to take along, anything that's going to be relevant based around the notes of the client. I arrive at their house, we have a chat, and then we look at what sort of support is available. I'll leave them the information, and then I'll go back and see them in a month to see if they've looked at the information, if there's anything they want to join in with. If it's a day in the memory cafe, depending on what memory cafe it is, because there's very different activities provided by all of them. A day in the memory cafe can be listening to a talk about local history. It can be dance for 2 hours at Penzance. But generally it's just a place for people to congregate, share information, share stories. everybody has a different idea about how to support somebody, and it's a really good opportunity.
From my experience, Dementia Advisor, you take action as well though, don't you?
Yeah. Well, as Bobby has said, it's ensuring that people are aware of the support that's out there for them, because a lot of people obviously are new to this world and have no idea. So it is things like connecting them to the community, so things like the memory cafe, and maybe local, like there's a tea and knit group in, you know, wherever, those type of things that people might be interested in. I have to say, a lot of the clients that I meet they're not interested, and I think with the dementia, as it progresses, they can become less sociable. They don't want to, they feel safe at home, so they don't want to go out. So it's looking at what can be done either with the carer themselves at home, possibly. So it's talking to them about how they fill their day, and looking at if there are any other opportunities or anything else that they might be able to do at home. But it can, from that sort of low level, information based, it could be we go into a situation where the carer's really struggling, and can be carers breakdown point, and then we'd be really looking at. So I have in the past had to make a safeguarding alert, had to speak to adult social care, managed to get the couple through the STAR project some respite, so a sitter to go in and sit, so the carer could have a break. So sometimes we can have a visit and everybody's ticking along, and they don't, we give them information and we say, right, well, you have our number, we'll call you in 3 months' time. Other times it can be coming back to home or to the office and going, right, we need to do a fire safety check referral. I need to send them attendance allowance forms. I'm going out this afternoon to connect a client to the Alzheimer Society for support with power of attorney.
Wow.
So because
Yeah.
Alzheimer Society do a really good service where you book an appointment and they'll complete the paperwork for the power of attorney, their end, print it out, put it in the post to the client signs it, then it's done. So they
That's
just send
amazing.
it. Yes, brilliant.
Amazing service.
So it's, it's all we've got, and making sure people are financially, managing, and are they getting what they're entitled to? So attendance allowance,
Council tax.
exemption or reduction, depending. So a person living on their own with dementia has complete council tax exemption, so they don't have to pay any council tax.
So it's like you're a wealth of all this knowledge and the network of what's available to carers and people living with dementia, and also you can take action and instigate things that are needed if people really need that extra support.
And obviously we're working with the primary care dementia practitioners, so if we have any questions. So I saw a client who wanted to explore medication, and so that's not something that we can manage or advise on at all. So we referred back to the PCDP. She went to their consultants meeting, and they'll take it from there, and then and monitor her on the medication, and then she'll probably come back to us.
Yes.
Once that's sorted.
Occasionally we meet people that are diagnosed but very much in denial about that, and the progression of dementia is going to be life-changing for both the carer and for the person. So linking them in gently with services that aren't going to apply that label of you are a disabled person, you are a person with dementia, I think is really important. So our low-level advice and guidance, I think, provides a gentle introduction to the changes that are going to come, and obviously the knowledge base of the community services that are going to support them and manage their illness in a way that suits them. It's not about them being forced to have a system in place that's provided. They tailor what they want out of the services.
There are some people that were warned by the carer that either they don't use the word dementia or they're not aware of their diagnosis, which in one case have been agreed by the doctor and the carer that they wouldn't actually label it. So when you go in with that knowledge, you don't use that word.
Yeah.
I'm just here to help. What can we, how can we make your life better?
So it's that person-centred
Yes,
approach.
Most definitely. Yeah,
For me,
definitely.
it has to be tailored to the person because everybody has a different standard and way of living. And to go in to someone's home and tell them that they need to be doing this, they need to be doing that, I think it needs a very gentle approach. These are fully grown adults that have lived their life how they've wanted to live it, and I think it's important to keep that as long as they're safe and as long as everyone around them is safe.
I think we part of our role is often when they're newly diagnosed, and so actually they're probably feeling okay. Their memory is affecting them, but it's not affecting them in a major way. So actually, I think sometimes they feel, well, we don't need your help right now. We're doing, we're managing, we're doing fine. Yeah. But try and talk to them that it's about us being in the background, and we're there if you need us or when you need us. So this isn't a one-off. It's not, oh, we're here, done, gone.
Yeah.
We will be, the service, either myself or a colleague will be there, at the end of a phone if if and when you need us.
Last question then would be, how can, if for some reason somebody hasn't yet found a dementia advisor, that they've seen their PCDP and now they're thinking, well, I want a dementia advisor and I haven't got one, how can I get that help? How would they find you?
We are out handing out leaflets. It'll have all our contact details at the bottom, so there's different areas of Cornwall and you can contact us via that. You can speak to your GP to have a referral through to us, also your primary care dementia team, but hopefully this week we'll be able to get the information out there of how to contact us.